billion children a year are affected by obesity. 20% of children and teens are obese, and the average is increasing yearly. In order to fully understand obesity in children, we should first look at the causes. The road to obesity begins at birth. Though breast milk has been proven to be healthier for infants than formula, it has also been proven to make babies heavier. As we have seen from the video, many new mothers overfeed their babies. At the first whimper or whine, moms like to shove something into the baby's mouth, essentially to shut it up. This habit leads to overeating at a very early age. Often you hear a parent saying to their child that if they will eat everything on their plate, they'll be given a cookie. This tradition leads the child to think that the cookie is the reward. If the cookie is the reward, then the other food, normally fruits and vegetables, must be punishment. Often parents choose to take their kids through the drive-thru for their meals. Old Ronald sure knew what he was doing when he invented the Happy Meal. 20 billion Happy Meals have been sold in the past 30 years.
Mommy, I'm hungry. What's for supper?
Well, Mama said to work all day, so we're going to go through a drive-thru and get something to eat.
Yay! I want a Happy Meal!
Okay.
Unhealthy snacks contribute to an increase in the child's weight. Indulging in candy, desserts, and soft drinks, which are high in sugar content, promotes a weight increase. In combination with unhealthy eating, lack of exercise promotes weight gain. Children spend the majority of their day at school. Once home, they tend to lounge around the house playing video games or watching cartoons. Psychological factors also lead to obesity in children. Some children excessively eat to cope with problems or to deal with emotions such as stress or boredom. Studies have shown that there are 3 dietary triggers that directly lead to the release of endorphins. They are fats, sugars, and phenylethylamine. Indulging in treats such as chocolate ice cream sends an instant message to your brain for the release of endorphins, giving you that moment of euphoria. There is emerging evidence that proves that genetic mutations play a role in obesity. Several genes, especially those involved in energy intake, such as leptin and leptin receptors, have been described as candidate genes for obesity. Further studies are needed to evaluate the role of MC4R. Let's take a look now at the complications from obesity. Obese children are at risk for many health problems.
Hello, I'm here today with Tanya Atkinson and Brenda Stockton. They're both nurses in the pediatrics unit at TJ, and we're here to interview them with a few questions about childhood obesity. Tanya, have you seen an increase of childhood obesity rates recently?
We see quite a bit of childhood obesity, and it is a major problem in the world.
What illnesses due to childhood obesity have you seen here lately?
The major illnesses that we normally see in the hospital has to do with type 2 diabetes. A lot of it is. The children come in, some of it to childhood obesity can contribute to breathing problems such as sleep apnea, the problems such as that. And some of the children can have problems with their blood pressure, and sometimes can substantially become a problem later in adulthood if it's not corrected at an early age.
Brenda, what long-term problems do you foresee in the future for children that have suffered from childhood obesity when they grow older?
Of course, the number one issue will be diabetes. That is one of the most complicated, and as you know, in diabetes, once you start in on diabetes, complications from other organs of the body begin to incorporate into whatever's going on with the diabetes. Also, the sleep apnea, your body, as you grow older, if you do overweight and you do the apnea, your body adjusts to it until you become an adult. Then an adult, that apnea becomes a problem, along with when you have the blood pressure problems. Diabetes and blood pressure sometimes go hand in hand, and with these problems as a child, growing into adolescence, into adulthood, they seem to hold hands and tie hands into as you get older. One of the respiratory problems that comes from obesity in children, sometimes inactivity not only decreases your lung activity, but also decreases your muscular, your body activity. Obesity slows your body down.
The Center for Disease Control now estimates that 1 in 3 children will be diagnosed with diabetes at some point in their lifetime. Complications of diabetes include stroke, eye damage, heart attack, kidney damage, numbness, and reduced blood supply. Obese children are at a greater risk for developing asthma than their peers. Symptoms of asthma are difficulty breathing, shortness of breath, tightness in the chest, cough, and rapid pulse. Overweight children are more likely to have high blood pressure than their peers. A diet high in salt adds to the likelihood of having high blood pressure. Other medical problems associated with childhood obesity are heart disease, liver problems, menstrual problems, and sleep disorders. Obese children are also more likely to be depressed, sad, and isolated from their peers. The solution is common sense, diet and exercise.
Probably one of the better things that we could do for our young people and adolescents is to come up with an activity, a food protocol, something that incorporates everything in one and not individual items that we have to go to different people to do. If we can pass some kind of legislation that if you do this, we do this, we do this, instead of food restrictions coming from this person, and then another situation wants to do medical issues about it, activity in school over here is something that needs to be incorporated into one general circle, working in one general direction.
And add to what Brenda says, childhood obesity starts at home. The parents, the family, anybody that the child is around needs to be aware of this major problem and this epidemic that is becoming a real life problem for children. In schools, they need to be aware of what your children are eating, and incorporate physical activity in school. That is where you need to start it, is at home and at school, because that is where most of our time the children is spent. Going to fast foods all the time. The children need to learn healthy lifestyles, and it's just a major problem that needs to be on the forefront of our issue to take care of our children.
It is time for parents and school officials to take charge. The future of America is at stake. Our future leaders are 10-year-olds who are too lazy to get off the couch. The first step to getting our children healthier must begin at school. An American child receives more than half of their daily calories from food and drinks that are consumed at school. It is absolutely essential that our schools become a center of nutritional excellence. Michelle Obama is trying to tackle this very topic using her influence as First Lady. Her Let's Move campaign is trying to change how people think about health. Her very ambitious plan aims to give $25 million for schools to renovate their kitchens to replace deep fryers with equipment needed to store more produce and serve more nutritious food. This is a great start for making school lunches healthy. Physical education requirements in schools have been shrinking at the same time that the waistlines of America's school children have been expanding. Most elementary public school systems only offer PE 1 to 2 times per week. PE should be offered on a daily basis so that young children get into the habit of exercising at an early age. High school students in the public school systems are only required to take PE class once during their 4 years in high school. That's right, only once in 4 years. Is it too much to ask that students be required to spend at least 1 9-week session in PE each year? I think not. Funding needs to be made available to the schools so that they may hire additional gym teachers. We cannot lay the blame on the school systems alone. Parents are responsible as well. Parents need to encourage children to eat healthy. They need to try to prepare healthy dinners at home. Parents also need to encourage exercise at home. Great outdoor exercise can be swinging or sliding on playground equipment, jumping rope, taking the family dog for a walk, jumping on a trampoline, pedaling a bike, playing basketball, riding a four-wheeler, or going fishing. Anything that gets children up and moving is great. Diet and exercise are the safest ways to treat obesity in children. As Michelle Obama said, we don't have to be 100%. If we can get 20% of the way there, we will change the health status of our kids for a generation.
One final note.
Leanne, this is Tanya London Atkinson from high school. You remember me. Make sure you give this fine young man an A+ on his paper.